Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much to Faculty of Business and Management, University Technology Marakedah Branch, has become host the International Virtual Conference on Business, Finance, Management, and Economic 2021. The Honorable Datuk Haji Nur Azman bin Haji Mufti, Dr. Keh John Tan, Prof. Dr. Haji Muhammad Abdullah bin Haji Hamdi. In this great moment, we wish all of the audience are healthy, happy, and prosperity. Amin. Embracing the new normal, are we ready? I will discuss about SME strategy to enter market post-COVID-19 pandemic. Honorable audience, for future economic development, we must adopt the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 schools which are reduced to 5 pillars that talk about people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. People are determined to end poverty and hunger in all the form and dimension, and to ensure that all human beings can fulfill their potential in dignity and equality, and in a healthy environment. And planet determined to protect the planet from degradation, including through sustainable consumption and production, sustainable managing in natural resource, and taking urgent action on climate change, so that it can support the need of the present and future generation. And prosperity determine the ensure that all human beings can enjoy prosperous and fulfilling life, and the economic, social, and technological progress occur in harmony with nature. And then peace. Determine the foster peaceful, just in inclusive society which are free from fear and violence. There can be no sustainable development without peace, and no peace without sustainable development. And the last, partnership. Determine to mobilize the means required to implement this agenda through a revitalized global partnership for sustainable development based on spirit and strength global solidarity. Why do we want to change? If we want to change our future prediction, we must have a creative spirit. The perspective must change to a comprehensive perspective by creating value, development in the product sector, marketing sector, human resource sector, networking sector, and other sector. And most importantly, the economic perspective should not be viewed from an extractive economic, but democratic economic. Next, there is interesting aphorism from President John F. Kennedy. He said, "A rising tide lifts all boat," is associated with the idea that improvement economic will benefit all participants, and that economic policy, particularly government economic policy, should therefore focus on broad economic effort. When the economic is down, we will definitely having a reborn cycle or rising tide. Of course, we together want to all sector to be lifted. Nearly 60% of SME in Indonesia from various sectors and are currently able to reborn, so that the right paradigm is needed. Why should the setting things? Because we agree that the economy is disrupted in terms of limited mobility of goods, limited transportation, limited accessibility and connectivity. So the supply and demand sets are disrupted. As a result, everything is disrupted and heavy national contraction due to pandemic issue. How to control the speed? Everything is breaking there. All of those creating high uncertainty. So SME will affected because of a destructive or economic contraction. We can see the China, America, Singapore, and the others. All of them have been reborn. Some are positive reborn, some are on the way, and also some have not been reborn at all. I just said, if we do not develop SME properly, we will having the most severe wave, namely the climate change wave. Therefore, SME development must be in line, have cascading derivative from the Sustainable Development Goals Agreement. We agree in 2045 how we will not having a climate change crisis or recession. So we have to see that the issue of SME is not only talking about the number, not only talking about the growth, not just talking about the value added, but sustainable or not. But sustainable or not. Or the economic built by SME is built on democratic or extractive principle. This is the very essential. This picture is how we see the government in controlling the economy, including the SME. We can see that the convex curve belong to COVID, while the more concave curve belong to economic growth. And everything follow the pattern. If R, you see R, if R COVID reproduction number, it is smaller than 1, it means we can control. We have together, we agree that the target for June is improving condition, but in the fact of it cannot be controlled properly. We have more and more reproduction number in various places in Indonesia, like Sumatra, Central Java, and so on. On this basis, that the economy having uncertainty. How do we see SME? Do we stay in linear way? Traditional way? Of course, no. We agree to make change. Next, economic that I over here, that we have to shift the paradigm. Kooperasi, BUMDes, KUD, or all of them have to talk about the economic that is shifting from extractive to more democratic. The democratic economy provides opportunity for more people, not just a few people. SME must agree to build the pillar that exists in the democratic economy. Like labor is more important than capital. SME actually answered that question. Second, SME must prioritize local wealth, local resource, how SME are involved in the supply chains, synergy, and not spirit. Third is more concerned with society or local community, so that SME become the part of supply chain manufacturing industry and are not extractive. This can provide more opportunity for participation. Four, sustainable development must involve as a representative of the manufacturing industry involved in the respective area, not exclude but include. Fifth, the management of the distribution of authority. The manufacturing industry in investing must cooperate with the supply of SME so that they can manage joint asset. I emphasize this paradigm so that sustainable management is created and there are no continuous mistakes. We can see on the picture the role and impact that occurs on SME. Only about 13% of Indonesian SME have just digitalization, and about 12.29% UKM have export potential. So how SME can answer global problem? A smart way is how we attract investment or invest, provide future capital. There are many examples of young people who can export oriented but do not export goods, but knowledge. Now it's work from home, work from everywhere. How the pattern have changed. The paradigm setting have also changed. And that's what we have to continue. For example, with digital marketing concept such as SEM, apps development, web design, SEO, video production, email marketing, content marketing, social media, branding, and everything contains information speed. And then we can develop the pattern on the screen. How digitalization flow from the market aspect. But I'm sure during a pandemic, the interesting product are a product related to manufacturing health, food retail, and also fashion. We'll see what the subsector of the product looks like. Then what kinds of commodity is revealed. And then we facilitate it with digital solution. One of which is by creating a marketplace. Because interestingly, there are many SMA in Yogyakarta that did not having a decline during the pandemic when they focus on the marketplace. Very interesting. Now, how the strategy? This is strategy for how to sell product. We must understand global information, understand a buyer of SMA product from within or outside the country to conduct demand profiling. To find demand information globally, we can use web application or marketplace or other global media. So we need agent who focus on this area. Resources or student output is also important as a mediation to bring together global demand profiling and supply with digital technique and formulate on what knowledge must be mastered. What kinds of payment method, what kind of good delivery system, and so on. Or at least we can cooperate with various marketplaces that already have a global system, like Shopee, Lazada, Tokopedia, Bukalapak, Amazon, Alibaba, and the others. The last, there is interesting aphorism from Ki Hajar Dewantara. Ing ngarsa sung tulodo, ing madya mangun karso tutpuri handayani. The meaning is in the front of giving an example, in the middle of building a will, and the behind giving encourage and influence. Okay, thank you very much for the time that has given. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.